What is up, everybody? Going live here at lunchtime for about, hopefully about 10 minutes or so. I'm going to recap my Grand Lake Bassmaster Kayak Series event. Didn't end up like I wanted it to, but I still had a good time over there. And just like, or at least why I use YouTube all the time to learn and share what I've done, show my highs, show my lows of all the things I've done when I go kayak fishing. It's a fun kind of side hobby on top of a hobby, recording and editing and putting out these videos. And never claim to be the best, never claim to be the worst. I just enjoy making these YouTube videos and putting them out. And I think as a group of people on YouTube, we all kind of learn and share with each other, give suggestions on what we could have done better, what we did bad, what we did good. So that's what we're here doing. I'm gonna do this little recap video at lunchtime, and it'll be up for people to check out after the fact. And I'm gonna have to tell you why I had to do a live recap video rather than an edited YouTube video. I'll show you this little clip and that'll explain it. Got my SD card. My GoPro. Crazy. Got my SD card for the GoPro, so no video today. I'll do a recap video after the fact, so hopefully it's a good recap. Let's get them. So there you go. Got ready to turn on my GoPro to record the event Saturday morning, and no SD card in the GoPro. I had just cleaned them off, got ready for the event. I guess I left it sitting on the counter, didn't stick in the GoPro. So no live, no recording of the event to edit or put together. So I'm just doing a quick recap video here on this live stream. A lot of people at work, probably nobody can watch it, but you know what? If you can, appreciate you. Look like there's one person in there. Hey, what's up, David? I see you in there, Pond Warrior. Just doing a little recap video because my SD card, I didn't put it in my GoPro, so I'm gonna break down what I did and what I think I should have done to have a better event, and then this will be up on the channel for you can watch it later if you can't catch it live. So let me share my screen here and I'll show you what I did do. All right, so I chose to fish the Drowning Creek arm on Grand Lake. I launched in the very back of Drowning Creek at this spot called Xena Cove. It's just a little pull off from the side of the road here. I actually only launched with one other person. It was just me and one other guy, David Burt, who actually, I think he finished in 15th. Caught a big one, though. He caught a 21 3/4, I think. That may have been big bass for the event. So real nice guy from Maryland. Got to visit with him for a bit. It's cool to meet some new folks here. But he and I were the only ones that launched back there. We took off at 7:15. As per the Grand Lake rules, we couldn't launch in the dark. And I moved right to the mouth of this cove. My son and I had gone over here to fish, pre-fish, and we checked out a bunch of stuff on Grand Lake, and we actually caught them pretty good in the back of this creek. So I decided to come back here a few weeks later. I figured the fish may have moved back in these pockets a little bit. We caught them in both of these pockets right here and here. Moved back in the back a little bit at the water warmed, after a couple weeks of being there, but really it didn't. It was still in the mid 50s, 57, I think, when I got back here a little bit in this pocket. But so we launched here. I moved right over here and started right on this point where we had both caught fish pre-fishing a few weeks before. Let me change screens here and I'll show you why I chose that spot. Let's see if I can get this Navionics map. There we go. All right. So launched right there, moved to the mouth of this pocket, and you can see that road bed cuts right across that point there. I know it's kind of a rounded pocket with some chunk rock and gravel on it. My son and I each caught a fish there. I even caught a fish over on this side in practice. Also caught them in this pocket in practice. Got a few bites going out of here as well. My plan was to start here. The wind was supposed to come out of the northeast, so coming from top of the map to the bottom of the map. So I started here out of the wind, hoping to get a few bites and kind of put things together. Like I said, I hadn't been there in a few weeks. So started here, fished for about 15 minutes, didn't get a bite, but I saw the guy I launched with across the way. He caught one over here off this dock. He was live scoping some suspended fish, I think, but he caught a little one there, which kept me in. The fish were still in the area. But I fished here for about 15 minutes, didn't get any bites, so I moved back and across to this little pocket here in between these boat docks. Immediately caught a fish. The wind was blowing in here, and you can see the channel runs right by these docks. The wind was blowing in here. I immediately caught one on a jackhammer right there. Continued to fish the jackhammer and a spinnerbait up this bank here with the wind blowing on it. Turned the corner, got into this little creek arm / pocket here, and caught two more fish on a spinnerbait, including my best fish was a 17 1/4 inch fish right here in this curve of this pocket. I caught a 14-incher in here, and then I caught a 13.25, I believe, in here. So I had 4 fish pretty early in the morning and submitted them to Tourney X. And then this is where things went sideways for my tournament, at least in my mind, or my mind's eye. So rather than just milking this area with the wind blowing in here, you can see this kind of rounded point here. It had some good rock on it as well. This channel bank had some good rock on it over here as well. Rather than just stay in there and milk that for some more fish, I took, against my own advice, I was in my autopilot, so I had a motorized kayak, and the wind was blowing out of the northeast, and took off and proceeded to fish that spinnerbait and jackhammer all the way down, even across this flat, all the way out here, and basically hauled dead water for the next couple of hours, just knowing I was going to run across one more fish. I turned the corner and went into this pocket for a little bit, but as you can see, it didn't really set up like this one. There's not as much flat banks where those fish will be moving in to spawn. You can see the back of this one. This is a big flat back here. I went and turned into this, and this was all steep, deep stuff, deep docks. I didn't get as far back as back in here, but it just didn't look right to me. So I pulled out of here and fished a little bit of this, and then realized, you know what am I doing? The cardinal sin of leaving fish to find fish. So turned around and motored back all the way back to this pocket where I started. By the time I got back here and started fishing again, there was a couple folks around that had launched further out in the pocket and moved the way back here. And come to find out, one of my teammates, he actually caught some keepers right up this point here after I'd left. And I showed up, and he was right there. David Burt, the guy I launched with back here in the back, actually live scoped a 21 3/4 right here off this point. Caught another keeper over off this point. And by the time I got back here, the rain had died, and that was a key to the event as well. It was when I was catching them on those moving baits, it was raining. It was raining pretty hard. That stopped, and that moving bait stopped. That moving bait bite kind of stopped for me, but I kind of kept trying to force it. By the time I slowed down, I started dragging a Carolina rig and a shaky head around in here. I caught a few more fish, but they were all unders, and time ran out on me with a couple 11 3/4-inch fish in my camera roll that weren't helping anything. So, man, I messed up, left fish to find fish. You don't ever do that. I ended up 26th place with 4 keepers, one more good, 15 or 16. I think if I caught one more 16-inch class fish, I move into the money. So that's how stacked up the leaderboard was. Now, I was nowhere close to winning. Drew Gregory, blew the field out with a 90-inch limit, but the rest of the field was pretty stacked up. So had a chance there, but that's fishing. You live and die with your decisions. I made the wrong decisions and didn't make it happen on that Saturday. But I had a great time. I got to see some people at the check-in. Saw my buddy Mark Pendergraft, who finished 3rd. My boy Garrett Morgan hanging on to the AOY lead. He finished 6th. I had a couple other Old Town teammates finish in the top 20, so good for them. But yeah, 26th place finish. Got to get that out of my mind. Re-gear, get ready. Heading down to Lake Eufaula this week for the Hobie Bass Open Series event and try to get on a run here. Been a little swamped to start the year other than that big bass down to Lake Conway, but you know what? Sometimes that's how it goes. So just keep casting, keep grinding, and maybe we can turn this thing around down in Alabama. It's going to be a good week. But appreciate y'all checking this out. That's a little Lunchtime Live Grand Lake recap. Live and learn. You make notes and try to go back and learn and improve and get better at the next one. So I'll wrap it up, y'all. Appreciate you watching. And I'll have another recap video because I won't forget my SD card down at Lake Eufaula. Appreciate y'all.